And so we're here on to the last of the preview guides this season. Although it's not the end of the anime airing this season, as this season is a bit of a weird one. Personally, I'm going to blame the Olympics, because it's always the Olympics when they happen. Especially this time since they're in Tokyo. But I'm going to look at 4 new shows today, and let you know what I think of them. And of course, the 3 shows which I was skipping, which haven't aired yet, are the Ida Tendaites Only No Peace, which airs in a couple of weeks' time. I think it's in a week's time, actually. And also in 2.5 weeks' time, we've got the second season of Magia Record, and The Great Jahi Would Not Be Defeated. They do look interesting, those anime, so definitely give them a shot if it looks like you might like them. But for now, I'm going to look at the 4 more new shows, because, for the last time this season, this is a 2021 summer anime preview, from a different perspective. From the outset of watching Battle Game in 5 Seconds, I'm not quite sure what to make of it. It's about this weird kid who plays video games all day, although one day he gets attacked by this big burly guy who he tries to fight off using his video game skills, his logic skills. Knows exactly what he's going to be doing and exactly how to defeat him. Unfortunately, once he defeats him, he doesn't actually seem to question why this guy was attacking him in the first place. A random cat girl comes and kills him. A random cat girl dressed as a ringmaster, because that's basically what she is. See, our main character, Akira, is transported to his room where she's on stage telling him and all the other contestants just exactly what she has in store for them and why their lives are forfeit. You see, this is a killing game. Danganronpa, this is not. Although, we'll be honest, the cat girl is kind of cute. She's definitely no Monokuma though. And each of the characters are given a special power they can use in battles. These battle games in 5 seconds. We're not really told what all the characters' abilities are. We're going to learn them throughout the series as he fights them and somehow defeats them. The first guy he ends up fighting is a guy whose power is to turn whatever he's holding into a sword. Which is a pretty cool battle power. Pretty generic, but pretty cool. And Akira doesn't seem to be using his power at all. Although it's very blatantly obvious, he's sort of dragging the guy along so he can use his power in the most effective way. He uses a power shown by Mion, the cat girl. The "my arm is a gun" power. Yeah, he knows not got that power. We learn that Akira's power is actually, my power is exactly what you think my power is. It's like playing Cards Against Humanity and playing the card exactly what you'd expect on something. Always with hilarious outcomes, I'm sure. It's such a boring ability. It's very much akin to Toma's Imagine Breaker, just less imaginative. It's, okay, you can have every ability you want as long as you can make the opponent think it's your ability. Sure, he's going to come across some smart kickers who figure it out, and he won't be able to defeat properly. I'm sure the main female character will feature quite heavily in a future episode, because she's clearly a love interest. And of course, the weird demonic cat girl in the background, cackling to herself, she's clearly the final villain. Now, I'm not going to recommend watching Battle Game in 5 seconds, because it's going to take more than 5 seconds to watch it. It's going to take 24 minutes, and that's 24 minutes more than you should do. But if you do want to watch it, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. As I watch Mother Goddess's Dormitory, I ask myself one question. How the hell am I going to screen cap that in a way which is safe for YouTube? And I'll be honest, I've no idea. Clearly you can actually look up there and see how it's going, because I clearly have done so, unless up there is just pixelated censoring. But this is smut. Within the first 5 seconds, you're presented with multiple breasts, nipples out, and a boy face planting into crotches. The rest of this episode doesn't really go much better, as our main character ends up homeless, following a fire, and being invited to become the dumb mother of a women's university student dormitory. The eponymous Goddess's Dorm. Our main character Koshi is a middle school student, which really makes it worse, because you've got this middle school student being preyed upon by these voluptuous breasted onesans, who are, I think horn is not exactly the word. I think the word I'd probably use is in heat. Either doing science experiments or dressing him up as a cat boy, or just shoving his face into their breasts and into their ample bosom. And of course then you've got the main female character, Athena, who doesn't like men. She's the voice of reason. She's the voice of covering up. Whereas she does so in a way which isn't really good for keeping a boy's attention away from the important aspects. Now, Murugudis' Dorm has a reason to exist. I mean, watching it, I could see the light. And I'm not just about the censor biases, since there weren't any rays of God from this anime. There is warmth and a heart to this anime. I think the relationship between Athena and Koshi is going to be a good one. And I think all the other girls are just going to cause chaos. And Minoru especially. But Athena, her heart's in the right place. Koshi, his heart is in the right place. Although you do still have a problem of a university girl student with ample bosom effectively wanting to bone a middle school student. Yeah. This one has a lot of problems. And I don't think all of them are solvable. There's heart there, but before you get to the heart, you gotta go for the huge, naked, big-titted breasts. And as much as I like breasts, if I want that, I'll look for another type of anime. Maybe not this one. If you do want to watch it, you can find it on High Dive. Nighthead 2041 is another CG anime, so if you don't like that, you can tune off straight away. It's a CG anime about a world where religion and spiritual thinking has been outlawed. An age where troops of young men and women go into buildings trying to arrest conjurers and con artists and cult leaders who are trying to fill people's heads with words of mysticism and magic. Because mysticism and magic do not exist, not at all. And they definitely don't exist in our other two main characters. A pair of siblings who are leaving a hospital. They're given a car which can only be seen as from Cyberpunk to escape. And progress to show us a display of their powers against some non-believers. Who, to be honest, I deserved what we're getting. They're a bit of dicks, to be honest. But Nighthead 2041 sets up an interesting premise of a world where spiritual powers are coming to a fore, but a world where spiritual powers are looked down upon and are not really seen as existing, which is seen as antisocial elements. Now, there's a lot to like in Nighthead 2041. It has an interesting premise, but to me it just felt bland. The characters, I can't remember their names. I can remember kind of who they were. You're two cops who are two brothers, and a mysterious girl who was taken away by a helicopter at the end. Couldn't tell you any of their names. Well, I could because I'm looking at a listing of the anime right in front of me, but I'm not gonna because I wouldn't remember who Shoko is and who Naoto is. It's got a good cast list, but that's all you can really say for it, really. Nighthead 2041 is another anime which seems like it's been made cheaply with CG for a Western audience, and that, to me, is to its detriment. One of anime's biggest selling points for me is the stories which only Japan can tell. This could have been animated by any of the Western animation studios as well. I mean, I could definitely imagine Rooster Teeth coming out with this. Not that that's a bad thing, I do like Rooster Teeth animation. But it just feels not really that unique, it just feels generic. And that to me bores me. But if you do want to watch Nighthead, you can find it on Crunchyroll. If ever there was an anime which made me want to use a popular internet meme, Sonny Boy would be the one. The meme I'd want to use is the meme of the guy saying, "Is this a blank?" So I look at Sonny Boy and I think, is this an isekai? And I'll be honest, I don't know. It's weird. But not weird in a bad way, weird in a I don't know what the hell I just watched way. Now the animation style is very non-TV anime. The small, realistic looking eyes rather than the big anime eyes you always imagine seeing. But the visual style is just one aspect of it. You see, Sonny Boy starts off in a school where nothing exists outside of a school. All these school students are getting super magical powers, but are trapped in a school. And it's just slow and nothing really, lots of stuff are happening, but you don't really get to see or hear much of it. It's just hearsay skipping between bits here and there. You got the student council who are trying to make good on the whole controlling aspect of it. You got the popular kids with superpowers who are just trying to have fun with their powers. And those two go at loggerheads with each other. Eventually they start coming up with rules saying, okay, you can't use your powers to damage school property, you can't break school rules, you can't hurt anyone. These standard rules to make things a lot more simple. But who says you got to follow the rules? Well, apparently the random kid with a star on his cheek, that's who, because he seems to have given everybody the power of penalising other people. Basically, if you break the rules, you got to do a penalty, and it's forced upon you. It's not as if you have to optionally do it. You are forced into doing it, be that doing random sit-ups, or writing lines, or laps around the school, or naked punches. Oh god, that hurt. All in all, you got that, and then you got the main characters, who are this normal guy who doesn't really seem to fit in, doesn't really want to pay any attention to me, and this wild and wacky girl who she is an instant contrarian. She doesn't have a smartphone, she's not aware of what's going on. She's given a smartphone which she breaks, and is penalised because she breaks school property. But she doesn't want anything to do with this whole enclosed school, following the rules malarkey. She just wants to be free, and so at the end of the episode she just leaps to her freedom, as if she's the main character from A Girl Who Leapt Through Time. And she breaks her barrier of nothingness, and we end up floating in the sea. I'll be honest, there's not much about this anime which actually makes sense to me. It's not a bad anime, it's not wowing me yet, it's not floored me. It's just thought-provoking sci-fi, mystery, possibly isekai. I do recommend giving this a try, just to experiencing it, because what I'm saying now, there's no way this is getting across what it's like to watch it. It's slow to a point of being dull, but it was never dull. It was intriguing, but not exciting. Sonny Boy is an anime for contrarians, and if you do want to try it, you can find it over at Funimation. And so to end the season off, that was Battle Game in 5 Seconds, Mother of the Goddess's Dormitory, Nighthead 2041, and Sonny Boy. I will let you know what I think of them. Let me know in the comments what you thought of them. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch for daily streams, and join me again in the autumn for the next preview guide. Until then, bye bye.